Of the NFL season. Let's go. And I fear from my Chicago Bears heart that the Packers
gotta play them twice, huh?
Are
It's not
very good.
It's nothing nice, dog. It's tough on the kid.
Let's see what's going on in this game between the Commanders and the Packers here on Thursday Night Football. You know, Jayden Daniels, quarterback for the Commanders. Jordan Love getting ready for this big Week 2 matchup. Under 7 minutes left in the first quarter. There's no score. Here's Love dropping back, finds Tucker Kraft. He's going to gain 57 on this run. And let me tell you, this dude Kraft was just getting started here. Big play out of the gate for the Packers. Later in the drive, here's Love finding Romeo Doubs. That's a tutty. So the Packers lead 7-0. Oh, no Lambeau lead for Doubs? What's that? Early in the second quarter, Love feeling the pressure. Along the sideline, Malik Heath going to haul that thing in for a 37-yard gain. Initially, it was ruled incomplete. Packers challenged it, win it. Heath manages to get both feet down, so Love knew the whole time it was a catch. Later in the drive, Josh Jacobs running up the middle. That's a touchdown for Jacobs. His 10th straight game with a rushing TD. Packers lead 14-3 at the break, early third quarter. Here we go. Watch Micah Parsons. Parsons breaks through the line quickly.
Excuse me.
Just going to take Daniels down. Edgerrin Cooper is there also to clean it up. So Daniels having a tough time really getting going. Commanders would go for the field goal. They'd miss it. Early in the fourth, Commanders trailing 17-3. Daniels in the pocket, has time, finds Zach Ertz, who breaks a tackle, stiff arms his way all the way in for a much-needed touchdown for the Commanders. So now the Commanders only trail by 7. Next Packers drive, Love escaping the pocket. Kraft, you've been my dude all night. And he is again. There he is. First down, Packers are driving. Later in that same drive, here's Love. Who does he love? He loves Tucker Kraft. I mean, who would have thought in this game Tucker Kraft would have been that dude? 27-18 the final, and the Packers beat the Commanders. But let's peep Josh Jacobs now. He has a rushing touchdown, as I mentioned, in 10 straight regular season games dating back to last year. He's the 4th player in the last 30 seasons to see that streak reach double digits, along with LaDainian Tomlinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Priest Holmes. Rashawn Gary spoke with Jeremy Fowler after the game. Here it is. It's new on SportsCenter.
Yeah, just understanding, 3rd and long, we're all right. They've been in 7-man protection all day. So, when it's in 7-man protection, our inside guys got to eat. But once again, man, you put hands on one, I'm going to get home. You put hands on 5-2, one going to get home. So, just being consistent and just rushing every snap.
Yeah. What do you think the identity of this Packers team is right now?
Just hungry, unproven, man. And, we just focus, locked in on one goal. That's to go 1-0 every week. So right now we 2-0. We got a little bit of a, week into ourselves to, get a little bit healthy. And then on the Browns.
You said unproven. Why do you say that?
Because everybody's hungry. And, we got that unproven mindset, man. We could be as great as we want to be, but we got to come out every Sunday, every game day and prove it to ourselves.
Yeah. What do you see from number 10 tonight?
Man, he's a dog. The way he's composed himself, the way he lead the team. Man, any type of guy like that, you got to put the faith in him, and he's been doing a hell of a job.
Thanks, man.
How do you get that going when you have such a talented +1 in the run game in your quarterback without just saying, Jayden, go find us the 100 yards rushing?
You either got to get him going, running the football with his legs, some design QB runs, which you don't want to do for Jayden Daniels because he can do it on his own. I think he's a better scrambler than he is a designed run guy. And also, you have to hit some short passes. They average, 3.9 yards a pass? That's not going to get it done either. If this was a college football game, Jeff Hafley's Boston College team beats Cliff Kingsbury Texas Tech squad. So this was a masterclass of defensive coverage and defensive scheme against Cliff Kingsbury. They couldn't hit the short passes. They could not run the football, and nothing worked for them offensively, and Green Bay did what they wanted. So if you're going to try to get things going in the run game, you either are going to have to, what we talked about earlier in the week, Joe, allow Jayden Daniels to call plays from the line of scrimmage, go up tempo to dictate the terms and not allow Green Bay to dictate, because that's all they did tonight. And that's how you get things going. You could have passed to set up the run. They couldn't do either, so nothing worked for them offensively.
Let's get to the offense on the other side here, because again, I think the word that immediately comes to mind for me is balance with this Green Bay offense. Uncertainty in the wide receiver room, still not an issue. This time, Jordan Love leans into his tight end and Tucker Kraft. Love goes for 292, 2 touchdowns, hasn't thrown an interception in now 9 consecutive starts. Kraft goes for 124. Nobody else goes for more than 44 yards, Emery. How do you make sense of this passing attack? It was obviously plenty, But how much does the tight end unlock things in this version of the Green Bay Packers?
When you have a good tight end that can get open and make plays like that, it makes you difficult to defend as a whole offensively, because now you kind of shrink the field to where everything on the outside starts to work. They went on 2 90-plus yard drives. That right there allowed them to get into any kind of groove they wanted to get into. And when you have 2 tight ends like they have, they were able to really balance the offense out. They got inside the red zone. There was 3 or 4 inside the red zone. That's why they were able to come away with those or pay off those long 90-plus yard drives. So when you have a Tucker Kraft, and now next week's opponent is going to come in, try to game plan for him, well, guess who's going to eat? These receivers out on the perimeter. So when they have these healthy weapons like B-Mac talked about, if they're out there healthy on the perimeter, we saw Savion Williams get a touch and, show some creativity. That's something to keep your eye on down the line, along with the efficient running game. So they haven't been explosive yet, but they were pretty doggone consistent, which got them to win.
And see, that's the luxury that Matt LaFleur has in the midst of his offense when you talk about the passing game. It's not like they're Destiny Child where you just have Beyonce and that's it. No, they're like New Edition, where any given time someone can be the lead singer for that particular song and they can still do numbers. So tonight, it was Tucker Kraft. Next week, it could be Matthew Golden. Who knows? But that's a great luxury to have because they have so many guys that any given moment, they can take that mic and go ahead and bring the song in, take it all the way home, and have all of us dancing from start to finish. And guess who was the lead singer tonight? It was Tucker Kraft, and he did a great job. Man, make sure you go get some cheese and wine.
Where they going to have to cool it now, though? Those 10 penalties for 77 yards.
You just wanted to get
I wanted to get that reference in there. He brought up New Edition. I had to get that reference in.
I wasn't going to stand for the disrespect of Kelly Rowland, but we do have a show to do. So maybe let's go like this. If Week 1 was their hit single, the Green Bay Packers, this was a follow-up album, and it's been a statement made in each one of these instances. The Lions in Week 1 to say, North runs through us, and then what we thought preseason would be an NFC contender in the Washington Commanders, and they handle them with little issue either, Mac. What sort of statement do you take away from this first 2 weeks of the season, this first 10 days of the season for the Green Bay Packers?
They're opening a lot of eyes in the National Football League. But what I want to see, Joe Emery, is the same dominance, the same production at home. I want to see this travel, right? That's what I want to see. Because when you're talking about being a championship team, what you do at home, it follows you. Now, they have the recipe to have success on the road. Great defensive play and running the football. But I need to see, because to your point, both games, Week 1 and Week 2, Lambeau Field, outstanding atmosphere, electric atmosphere. But let's see this same production go on the road. And I'm not saying that I don't think they can do it, but those are the things I want to see. And the last thing I like to say, too, in terms of moving forward, Emery, key nugget, the penalties. They left a lot of points on the scoreboard. They left a lot of points on the scoreboard. It seems like at times they kind of start playing with their food. Luckily, they got a great defense that was able to bail the offense out in moments because of penalties. But when they're playing against a much better collective team that has legit championship aspirations with veteran experience in the backfield throughout their playmaker positions, those things can really come back to haunt you. But right now, in 2 weeks of play, the NFC North, I understand there's still a lot of football left to be played, but it seems like Green Bay, they're starting to state their claim to be the kings of the North in the NFC.
It's funny because if we're looking at this from the preseason perspective, we were looking at the Lions and Commanders as 2 potential playoff teams to get back in there, right? So we saw them take care of business there. I think the biggest game on the schedule so far will be this Browns game. We know the Browns don't have the dynamic passing game. We know the Browns may not be a good team collectively by the end of the season. So how disciplined can you be? And to B-Mac's point, the penalties. How can you clean up those mistakes, tie up those loose ends? Can you come out and play a clean, disciplined game against a team you are technically supposed to beat? And that's going to be what we're going to watch for. We'll learn a lot more about what lies ahead for Green Bay long term with how they handle Week 3, because you could be sitting up there resting on your laurels after beating both last year's playoff participants. But if you come out there and lay an egg versus the Browns, therein lies, well, we can't trust you until you prove otherwise.
A couple of points well taken there. Let's see it on the road now. Let's see how you respond in a matchup where you're likely going to be once again favored, but that is 2 wins against teams that totaled 27 wins a season ago in the Lions and in the Commanders, each one of them reaching the NFC title game over the last 2 years, exactly where Green Bay is trying to get back to. A lot of work between now and then, but these first couple work samples have been pretty sharp. If Green Bay's making us say, wow, maybe Washington's making us say, after this one, even the win in week 1 over the Giants, they spent about 2 hours pushing their food around. You walk away with what level of concern from this road loss for Washington?
Washington doesn't have any explosiveness. They lack the explosiveness they had last year. And a lot of that was Jayden Daniels being Jayden Daniels in critical moments, right? But when you look at individual talents around him, you're saying, okay, well, who are the threats? Who are the vertical threats? Who's going to scare you to get you up out of that shell coverage? They didn't have that tonight, and teams are going to say, well, wait a minute. If they don't have anyone that can threaten us deep down the field, man, we'll sit there and cover 4 and just drive on the football and make plays in the open field. So they're going to have to find some ways to either generate explosive plays or find other explosive players that are out there in free agency or guys they can go make a trade for, because right now they have good players, but they lack explosive players, if you understand what I'm saying.
Well, to your concern, Emery, about having a downfield presence, they have one on the team. He was their down the field presence last year. He's just not in any football shape, and that's Terry McLaurin. He spent the entire summer training camp preseason holding in, not doing anything. And we're seeing the results of him not being on the grass. The timing isn't there, because Scary Terry is still a guy who can get behind coverage. We saw that last year, right? But it's just the rhythm is not there. His
it.